Well, good evening, everyone. It's so nice to have a full house. I couldn't find a parking spot in my own city hall, so thanks for that. I appreciate it. This is definitely a special night where we get to celebrate some cool kids, and excited to pull that together. And I will kick us off and officially start the City Council meeting for Thursday, February the 15th. And if you will all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. And we'll ask Councilmember McCall to please pray for council.
Thank you, Mayor. If everybody would remain standing, remove your hats, please. I'm going to ask the good Lord for a little guidance here tonight, since we got a good crowd. Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we just thank you so much for the opportunity to come before our friends and neighbors in our community. Lord, we just ask your blessings upon us. Lord, help us to be fair, help us to be calm, help us to do your work here on earth, Lord. We thank you and praise you for all you do for us, and we ask everything in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Wayne. First, we have a little business. We have approval of our minutes from our previous meetings. So we have committee meetings the week before we have council meetings for tonight. And so this is our minutes for that. So do I have a motion to approve our special county council meeting?
Motion to approve that.
Okay.
Second.
January 18th. All right. Any edits, questions? All in favor? All right. We got one more for our regular council meeting on January the 18th at 2024. Is this 7 o'clock maybe? We had two. 6 o'clock. Okay, great. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Okay, second.
Second.
Great. Any further discussion? All right, now we will get to the good stuff. That was our hard job for the night. So now we will have, oh yeah, I'm sorry, all in favor? Great, thank you. I was so excited, I'm just jumping to it. Thank you, Brantley. All right, motion carries. So now we get to the good stuff. So this is where we have our citizen recognition. And tonight we're gonna do a little something special where we have Heritage Elementary School Shark Tank Day participants. And so maybe, where's our teacher at? She's hiding. Do you want to say a few words? If you want to, just let council know. We've had you guys here before, but it's nice to have a refresher for what Shark Tank is and how special our kids are. If you want to come up to the mic, yeah. Do it.
Here we go. I'm Devin Washburn. I'm a 5th grade teacher at Heritage Elementary, right up the road. I have had the pleasure of teaching these students behind me for the past few months. They've been working on a very long and in-depth, kind of hard project. They had to create their own business model from start to finish, something they wanted to sell, a need that they saw, or a passion that they have. So they developed their business model, their business plan, and they had to present this to a team of 9 judges in the idea of a Shark Tank, to where you're trying to get investments from those people. The life skills that we focused on were speaking in front of a group, proper handshakes, introducing yourselves, how to carry, how to do a memorized presentation. So it had the business model, the business plan to go with our social studies units, but also focusing on those life skills that will carry them way past their 5th grade year. So,
And I was lucky enough to be a judge, so
Yes.
I got to, they asked me for a lot of money as part of this process.
Yeah.
But what was really nice is that I brought some of the work. These are
nice.
menus. They're all into food also,
Yes.
too. That was a lot of the presentations, and they had treats for us, and they just did an amazing job. So we, as a city, want to just say how proud we are of you guys. And the parents, thank you for bringing them here tonight. And obviously, you're doing a great job at Heritage, but it was really, really impressive. And a lot of the judges that were on the panel were like, we know adults. It's hard for us to sit up here and have these conversations, and they just did a wonderful job. So what we thought we'd do, we have a proclamation, but if it's okay, maybe I'll read the proclamation first. And if you guys just want to come up and just say your name and maybe like one little sentence about your presentation, because the rest of council just didn't get to see it. Would that be okay? Yeah. Let me read the proclamation first, and then we'll come down and get pictures and all that fun stuff too. So what a proclamation is an official way for the city to say, we see you, we appreciate you, your names are all on this, and we have your own special proclamation with a seal and all that good stuff for you to take with you. So this is our way of just saying we appreciate you, and you worked really hard on this presentation, and we all saw that as judges, so thank you for that. So your proclamation, I'm going to read it to you. Whereas members of the 5th grade class of Heritage Elementary School participated in Shark Tank Day. Shark Tank Day provides students with valuable life skills by asking them to create their own business and present it to various members of the Travelers Rest community. Heritage Elementary School, through programs like this, helps to foster important life skills like proper handshakes, effective verbal communication, and the ability to persevere through stressful situations. The top 13 competitors listed below developed a business plan or product and were chosen on a 5-point rubric by their class peers, which is really impressive. And you were chosen to advance to the final round where we were judges and presented your ideas to the mayor and other various community members. So now, therefore, I, Brandy Amadon, Mayor of the City of Travelers Rest, would like to congratulate the participating 5th grade students at Heritage Elementary School on their unique ideas, impressive presentation skills, and overall achievements. So we appreciate you guys. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Who wants to start the train first? Gonna come up here? Yeah, come on, yeah. If you just want to come up to the mic and just say your name and just maybe a sentence on what your presentation was about.
So my name is Julian, and my presentation was about a sports bag that can fit all your sports needs in one bag.
Nice.
Very cool. Thank you. All right, yeah.
My name is Liam Allen, and my presentation was about a sweet company that delivered sweets to all people throughout America.
Thank you. Liam, you should have brought us samples. I'm a little disappointed. He gave us the day of. It was great.
My name is Skyland Baskins, and my presentation was of a business where we sell multiple foods. We had animals in the back, and we baked in front of you.
Cool.
What's your name? Eve. And what was your business about? She made a doggy daycare, affordable doggy.
Thank you.
My name's Aubrey Connor, and I wanted to have a place because my mom always taught me how to bake sweets and stuff, and I wanted everybody to experience it.
Thank you.
My name is Allison Dempsey, and my company was about having memory foam for saddles, and you could have very little and a lot. So yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name is Braden, and my business was about selling all types of sports gear.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Madison, and my business was about selling milkshakes and lots of other sweet treats for everyone to try.
Did we miss him? Okay.
Hi, my name is Millie Schmidt, and my business is called Schmidt Solutions, and it was about solving people's everyday problems.
Hi, my name is Charlotte, and my company was called Cheese Touch, and we sell homemade pizza to like everyone across the country.
Thank you.
My name is Layla, and I sell all kinds of different flavored cookies.
All right, thank you. We like to eat in Travelers Rest for sure. Did we get everybody? Well, great. Well, thank you. Well, maybe you guys come up front. We'll get some pictures up here. And we will take like a few minute break. You guys are welcome to stay for the rest of the council meeting. You are also welcome to leave and go have dinner or do homework and all those fun things too. Or if you want to take pictures outside, we made proclamations for all the kids, and so they're all in those envelopes, so make sure everybody gets one of those as well. So thank you guys so much for coming. We appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, and let me pass these around for council so you guys can see all their hard work. Bye. See ya. Bye, Liam. Bye. See ya.
Hello, dog. Were they all from the same grade?
That's pretty
Fifth
awesome.
grade.
It's an awful lot of work to do that much graphics.
Strong leaders. I like that.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
We don't just sell pizza.
Oh, really? Oh, my goodness. Oh, really?
You're welcome.
I guess
Hi,
that's
thank
all
you.
classmates.
Nice to see you. You guys did a great job. Thanks for dressing up for us too. See ya. Bye. Thank you.
She said she wanted a fresh start.
Yeah.
Microphone? Okay, thank you. Next, we will move into citizen participation. We have none. And then we have ordinances and resolutions for second reading. We have none. And now we'll move into our committee reports. I mentioned this a little bit. So we have committee meetings the week before. So this is kind of a summary of what we talked about last week. So we'll kick off with our Public Works Committee, Chair Lane.
The Public Works Committee met February 5th and approved the January 8th minutes. Committee member Amara was elected the co-chair of the Public Works Committee. The committee discussed the January Public Works report. A few updates. The recycling containers were moved to Trailblazer Park. It is a temporary solution and is on county-owned property. The containers will be emptied daily, and they will have someone to clean around it daily. With the move, there will be a third container. Director Tate is working with SCDOT and Duke Energy to make some safety updates on Main Street. He also noted that the trees that are flagged across the street were from a survey, and the flags will be removed. Flowers are going in within the next month.
Great, thanks, Chair Lane. Next, we'll have Public Safety Committee, Chair Byers.
The Public Safety Committee met on February 5th and approved the January 8th minutes. The committee elected committee member Chris as co-chair. The committee reviewed the following from the January public safety reports. For the police department, Captain Kelly noted that the increase in violations are attributed to more officers on the force. For fire, Chief Robertson reviewed their end-of-year document. One item to note is that response times have come down over the last few years, and they are continuing to work on lowering them even more. No building updates were presented.
Thanks, Kelly. Planning and Development Committee, Chair Vest.
The Planning and Development Committee met on February 5th and approved the January 8 minutes. The committee elected committee member Byers as co-chair. We also discussed the January Planning and Development Report. Director Foreman noted the following item. The survey for the skate park is completed, and the engineer is currently looking to give the idea, give us an idea of the scope, and community meetings will commence soon. We also discussed the Athens Street zoning ordinance, and the committee discussed and recommended moving it forward to full council, which will have first reading shortly tonight. The ordinance for Bowers Road annexation and Bowers Road zoning ordinance were also discussed.
Thank you. Now we'll have our Ways and Means Chair Baumgartner.
The Ways and Means Committee met February 5th and approved the January 8th meeting minutes. There we go. Committee member Vest was elected co-chair of Ways and Means Committee, and in our January packet that we've received, our February packet, our January financial update is in there, our financial statements. Does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask about the statements right now? All right, hearing none, that ends my report.
Thank you for that. Now we would do our ordinances and resolutions for first reading. So first we have our Athens Street zoning map amendment. Chair Vest.
Yeah, so I'm going to read the amendment or the ordinance, and then we'll discuss a bit to make sure we're all on the same page. So I make a motion to rezone approximately 0.34 acres of real property located at Athens Street from R75 Residential District to RD Residential Duplex District. Tax map number 0493-000-800-300 and tax map number 0493-000-800-400.
Okay, you've heard that motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
A second. Now we will open up for discussion.
Yeah, just a couple quick things. So we did talk to council this week, well, legal counsel this week. Kelly did make a motion to deny the request. The planning commission voted for denial. So just a quick clarification, we will need a super majority, that's 7 of the 9 of us, for this motion to be approved tonight. But we did need to make an affirmative motion. I just want to clear that up. So the motion on the floor is to approve the rezoning, but it will need 7 of 9 to pass first reading.
So 7
Anything
yays.
you'd want to add there? Okay. Now, any discussion, any questions before we
Any
vote?
questions on process first? Because we got a little wonky.
So if we don't want to approve the zoning,
You would say nay.
You would,
Nay,
yeah,
yeah.
that's correct.
Or no? Okay. All right. We'll open up for discussion.
I know that you and Shanice had a meeting with a community member, so I think it'd be beneficial if we heard a few snippets from that conversation.
Sure. I think our goal was just to make sure we had good communication. We have some of our community, yeah, there they are. Appreciate you guys coming tonight, just to make sure that we understood more of the process piece of what we were talking about tonight. This land is currently zoned as residential, so they could put a house without asking city council, but they're asking for this particular zoning for duplexes. So just to get some clarity on that. And I think we got good feedback from the community about the preservation of the Athens community and how they care about making sure that it stays, part of the uniqueness that it is, and worry about the duplexes and maybe more of a temporary nature of those who live there versus someone who might invest in a property and buy it and stay for the long term. So we had a good conversation. Anything to add, Shanice?
Yes, just other clarifying points. So if it stays single family, then the tax probably will be more expensive than it stayed as a duplex. But it was heard loud and clear that it seemed like residents preferred a single family than duplex, as long as it is within the character of the neighborhood. And just some interesting things about getting together as a community, thinking about other ways to enhance what's going on, potentially community gardens and things like that. And I thought that was really interesting as well.
Yeah, that's great. My personal opinion is that I will be voting yes for this. And the reasons why, I very much appreciate the Athens community and the conversation around it. I think we have those same fears about the entire Travelers Rest where so many people are coming. But I do lean on our comprehensive plan where we have, as a council, said that we want to address affordable housing, missing in the middle housing, and have alternative products for people moving into TR. I always think about a 22-year-old Brandy. Would she be able to afford living in Travelers Rest nowadays? And I don't know if I would be able to afford that back then. And so thinking of this duplex, this is something that is more affordable. It's not affordable housing, but it is definitely a smaller footprint and something that I think more of a workforce or, teachers or people would be more accessible. And so I do think it fits our master plan. I think it is bikeable and walkable, and people want smaller footprints. And so, but I do appreciate the community concern, and I don't feel like this particular proposal is going to alter the entire community of Athens. But yeah, I think it's something that we have said as a council that we appreciate and want to see options for people to live in TR that are something different from a residential unit.
So to clarify, a vote for is to allow for the rezoning?
Correct.
And a vote against is to keep it as it is?
Correct.
Yeah. Just kind of like normal.
A vote
Yeah.
against keeps it at R75.
Well, I mean, everybody needs to know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great. Yeah.
I too am in agreement with the mayor that I don't think that government needs to be in housing business anyway. And in this particular case though, because we're forced to be, one of the things that was addressed in the master plan is that we need some affordable housing. And this definitely fits the bill to be able to do that. And that's what the developer is wanting to do. And I like the idea of being able to do that. So I will be voting in favor of it also.
I did have one question. Knowing that it's 0.34 acres, is the concept, if it were to stay an R7, would it be a one-home build or a two-home build?
Yeah, one home.
It'd be one home
in the current
versus-
zoning.
Okay,
Correct.
versus the duplex concept, it would be two,
Right.
which would be four.
Right.
Okay, so it would definitely be a different feel for that neighborhood
Mhm.
coming from what's there now. Okay, I want to clarify the size of the lot. I was having a hard time picturing two homes on that space, so, okay.
Good clarification. Further discussion?
I'm grateful for the developer coming to us with this product and encourage more people who are looking to build in Travelers Rest to do the same.
Anyone else or any other questions, clarifying questions?
I guess that means time to vote.
Okay, all right, all in favor? So this would be approval of the rezoning. All in favor? Okay, opposed? Okay, we do not have a supermajority. Okay, all right. So it was not approved for rezoning.
Yep.
Okay, all right. All right, okay, thank you.
All right.
And I appreciate you guys coming tonight. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
thank you.
All right, and I think also, you guys just continue to come to meetings, and I think we do have a communication link to each other about how we can build up the Athens community, so we just need to keep having that, so we appreciate you guys coming. All right, next we will move on. We have other annexation conversations and amendments. So we have Bowers Road annexation, and Brantley, that's you again.
Yep. All right, so ordinance O-03-24. I make a motion to annex certain properties on East Bowers Road, tax map numbers 0503 030 103 000 and 050303 0103 100.
Okay, you've heard that motion. We have a second.
Second.
And from Sherry? Is that
Okay.
Sherry?
Is that Sharon?
Second.
All right, now we open it for
So
discussion.
I'll just read a quick bit about this. So this is the first reading of ordinance to annex two properties along East Bowers Road and Coleman Road. The Planning and Development Committee did make a motion to push this to full council. This was also recommended for approval by the Planning Commission and also staff.
Okay. Further discussion from council?
I know we've all received outreach regarding the plan details itself. So I just want to reiterate to the community that we're not voting on details of the plan today, that we're voting on annexation and zoning, and that the plans for the development would have to come through us multiple times before approval, given the new zoning requirements.
Yes.
Mike, do you want to add anything to that for process, just for those that are here?
Yes, ma'am, thank you. So it would come back, this is just, would be the annexation and the zoning, which includes a concept plan, a conceptual plan. So final details of that plan would still have to go through our process, which includes a review by the county and by the City Planning Commission on multiple occasions.
And would you assume that the email that we had gotten regarding the, I always say it wrong, bunched arrowhead, that would be addressed in part of those approval processes as well?
Yes, ma'am,
County
bunched
annex.
arrowhead is reviewed at by the county at the subdivision process at that level.
Great, thank you.
Just for clarity as well, the email that we received asked specifically for the South Carolina Native Plant Society leaders to recommend changes. Is that something when it comes to part of the plant development that we can recommend specifically, or that's not something that would be in council's purview?
So a portion of that has been addressed. So if there's additional constraints that you want to add, because this is at the zoning portion, at the next, our next step. For the annexation, no, but for the zoning step, you would be able to add additional conditions to the approval.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I think it would be worth noting too, that going forward, that the Greenville County, ultimately, the Greenville County Subdivision Review Board will deal with all these facts that have come before us. They will deal with them at that hearing. Each subdivision has its own merit, stands upon its own merit by Greenville County. So it would be remiss for us to be concerned with that at this particular time when the county hasn't even looked into that yet.
Yeah. And the plan hasn't been finalized.
That's
It's not
That's
an
correct.
end plan. Yeah.
So then we
Good
should
note.
give feedback to people who are asking that and say they need to reach out directly to Greenville County then?
Well, absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, because there's a committee that meets monthly. Is
Yes,
it
sir.
monthly?
Yes, sir.
Mike?
Yep.
That meets monthly, that deals with nothing but subdivision requests throughout the entire county.
And
Yeah,
just,
no.
Once it comes before them, I
That's-
mean,
that's
everything,
correct.
we're jumping the gun right now a little bit, that it's.
That's correct.
I just
But
want to make
it's-
sure I have
it's-
information in the proper procedure, if
Well,
because
it's
somebody
well of
asked.
note. It's well of note, you know,
Okay.
but we're, like Grant says, I think we're a little ahead of that curve right now.
Yeah.
well,
And
just to clarify, this subdivision, whether we annex it or not, if it's approved by Greenville County, it's going in, correct? Or, I mean, if it's approved in the county?
Yeah, it would be a separate process,
Right.
and I can't guarantee that they
Right.
would move forward, but if they're coming, my assumption is if they're coming to the city looking to develop, that they are looking to develop the property, whether the city's involved or not.
Right.
Yeah, I think part of our jumping ahead is the developers have just done a great job of providing a vision for this
Absolutely.
property. And so, not that we don't want people not to do that, because I think that's very helpful, but it does get everybody excited.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? And just for those here, the last vote was needed a supermajority because it was denied by the Planning Commission, so this does not. It just needs a regular majority.
Yep.
So we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor? Carries unanimous. Thank you for that. Next, we'll move on to C, Bowers Road zoning map amendment.
All right, same property. Ordinance O-04-24. I make a motion to rezone approximately 49.63 acres of real property located at 129 and 132 East Bowers Road from unzoned to FRD Flexible Review District. Same tax map numbers, Mike. Do I need to read these tax map numbers? All
Up to
right.
you, sir.
Do it.
All right. All right. Tax map number 0503-030-10303000 and 0503-0103100.
Good job. You've heard that motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion?
All right, let me give a little snippet of this as
Thank
well.
you.
So this is the first reading again of two. An ordinance to amend TR zoning map for two properties with conditions. And Mike, I don't know if you want to talk or highlight those conditions. It might be a good thing to bring up.
Yes, sir. Do you want me to do that right this moment, or?
If you, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
sure. Yes, sir. So, as part of staff's recommendation for approval and the planning commission's recommendation for approval, 5 additional conditions were added to the request for rezoning to FRD. And I'll just read those out so we have them for the record. Number 1, the site is subject to all applicable requirements of the City of Travelers Rest zoning ordinance, as well as all other applicable ordinances. Number 2, all appropriate best management practices must be adhered to during development and construction to avoid negative impacts to wetlands. Number 3, any potential impact to the identified bunched arrowhead population on site must be avoided. Impacts such as tree clearing and grading to the hill slope above the identified population must be avoided so as not to disturb the hydrology of the Piedmont seepage wetland. Number 4, documented consultation with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the SCDNR must be provided to the planning department before, or the planning director before proceeding with any construction activities. And number 5, signage requires a separate permit. So those are additional conditions that we have recommended be added with assuming approval of this rezoning request.
So those additional conditions on top of our FRD with what's allowed within that zoning. Also, I would add that staff and planning have both recommended approval of this request.
And again, they'll have to bring the final plan to us for approval.
The final development plan will go through the planning commission.
Okay, planning commission,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yes, ma'am.
Brantley, if you would, just for everyone here, would you just kind of just lightly touch on what a flexible review district is?
Mike would love to do that.
Get the expert, yeah.
So it's a review district, so it's essentially, you have your standard districts in traditional zoning, like an R75 or an RD, which specify just what the use of the property is. With the flexible review district, we ask for all the information on the front end. So that way, we want to know their concept plan, we want to know what their statement of intent is, what they plan to do with the property. Eventually, it's more than just, we're approving 87 lots. We're saying we're approving 87 lots, plus you have to stay out of certain areas, plus you're going to be protecting these other areas, plus you're going to be providing certain materials for your construction activities or the building materials themselves. So there's additional requirements that are built into the FRD. They act as their own mini zoning ordinance.
And am I correct in, I don't want to use the word assume, but am I correct in my thoughts that a flexible review district is more stringent and there's more council accountability with that classification there would be like standard zoning?
Yeah, with this one, absolutely. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And we've only had this zoning, what, Mike, 5 years?
It's relatively new. Yes, sir.
Can I ask a question? So we're voting on the zoning, but we're not voting on the number of units.
As part of the zoning approval, the number of units will be voted on as well. So yes.
Let me make sure that I'm correct on this also. The conditions that you read are a part of the motion, correct?
They are if you adopt them, yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Question?
Any other discussion? Okay, all in
I want
favor?
to note
Oh,
that the developer asked for FRD, which is a really good sign that it is the most stringent, and it's
Absolutely.
great that it was their idea, not ours.
Thank you. It's a unique property, so it's nice it's going to have its own unique plan.
So in the future, if while reviewing, can we decrease the amount of units or lots because of the bunched arrowhead if we needed to?
Yes, this will put a ceiling on the number of units they can develop at 87, if approved at 87.
So if we approve it at 87, but let's say we need to cut it back down to 81, can we do that?
We
can,
They would not have to go back through through council to do that. They
Be the
can- they can
planning
do it.
commission.
But the planning commission can restrict it to less than 87.
Yes, when
Okay.
they're at that point.
Okay, I feel like the developer is very conscientious with making sure that the bunched arrowhead are not destroyed so I just want to make sure that we are as well.
All right, anybody else? All right, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you for that. And then I assume we might have some community members around here as well. And so most of us do listen or try to join the planning commission. And so I think we have some concerns about roads and other things that we want to make sure we address as we move forward. Not all of it's in city limits, but just know that we do have other things that we're watching that you were concerned about, and want to make sure we pay attention to that as this development proceeds. Okay? All right, old business, we have none. New business, we have none. Miscellaneous matters, do we have anything from council for the good of council?
Make an announcement about when our city administrator is officially.
Oh, yeah.
board.
So Shannon Herman will start Monday, February the 26th, which will be our new city administrator. She comes from Greenville County and has been their assistant administrator, and we're really excited for her to get started. And our team has done a great job of, filling in the holes. Carson and Mike and everybody very much appreciate them, stepping up in the interim while we got everything together, and Shannon's really excited to get started, so that'll be good. And we'll start bringing her around to the community and meetings and all that fun stuff so she can get involved as quick as possible. Anybody else? Carson, anything you need to tell us to do? All right, motion to dismiss, adjourn. All right, second. All right, all in favor? All right, thank you again. We appreciate everybody for coming tonight.
I'm not doing it first. I like it, but I want to be me.
Yeah.